deception, murder. What's a teenage boy to do when he finds himself entangled in a web of forbidden relationships with not one, not two, but three older women? Secrets are meant to be buried, but some truths are too deadly to stay hidden. This is the chilling story of a small-town scandal that turned into a blood-soaked nightmare. Welcome to Truth Behind the Crime. Buckle up, because this story will leave you questioning how far people will go to protect their darkest secrets. In the quiet town of Willow Creek, life was simple. Neighbors knew each other by name, kids played in the streets, and nothing ever seemed out of place. But beneath the surface of this picture-perfect town, a storm was brewing. At the center of it all was 17-year-old Ethan Carter, a charming, athletic high school senior with a bright future ahead of him. But Ethan had a secret that would soon spiral out of control. Ethan wasn't just the boy next door. He was the boy who caught the attention of not one, not two, but three older women in his community. Each relationship was hidden from the public eye, each one more dangerous than the last. But how did it all begin? And how did it end in a brutal murder that shocked the nation? Before we dive into the details, let me warn you, this story is not for the faint of heart. It's a tale of obsession, betrayal, and a deadly game of cat and mouse. So, grab a seat, turn up the volume, and let's uncover the truth behind the crime. It all started in the fall of 2018. Ethan Carter was your typical high school senior, popular, good-looking, and a star athlete on the football team. But behind his confident smile was a young man craving something more, something dangerous. And that's when he met her, the first woman who would change his life forever. Mrs. Linda Harper, 35, was Ethan's English teacher. She was married with 2 young children and seemed like the last person who would risk it all for a teenage boy. But appearances can be deceiving. Linda saw something in Ethan, a spark, a potential, a forbidden attraction she couldn't resist. What began as innocent after-school tutoring sessions soon turned into secret meetings in empty classrooms and late-night phone calls. But Ethan wasn't satisfied with just one secret. He craved excitement, danger, and the thrill of the forbidden. And that's when he met the second woman, Sarah Mitchell, his 42-year-old divorced neighbor. Sarah was lonely, vulnerable, and desperate for attention. She saw Ethan as her knight in shining armor, a young, handsome boy who made her feel alive again. Their affair was reckless, passionate, and doomed from the start. But Ethan wasn't done yet. There was one more woman who would enter his life, and she would be the most dangerous of all. Jessica was confident, ambitious, and accustomed to getting what she wanted. And what she wanted was Ethan. She saw him as a challenge, a prize to be won. But Jessica wasn't playing with fire, she was playing with dynamite. And when the 3 women discovered each other, the fuse was lit. At first, Ethan thought he could keep his triple, life under control. But as the women began to suspect each other, the lies started to pile up. Linda grew paranoid, convinced Ethan was seeing someone else. Sarah started showing up unannounced at his house, demanding answers. And Jessica? She wasn't about to let anyone come between her and the boy she called hers. The tension between the 3 women had reached a boiling point. Linda started stalking Ethan's social media, searching for clues. Sarah started leaving threatening notes on Jessica's car. And Jessica? She wasn't afraid to play dirty. She began blackmailing Ethan, threatening to expose his affairs if he didn't end things with the other women. But Ethan was in way over his head. He couldn't keep up with the lies, the demands, and the constant fear of getting caught. And then one fateful night, it all came crashing down. Linda finally had had enough. Confronting Ethan, she demanded that he choose her over the other women. But Ethan refused. What happened next changed everything. On the night of November 15, 2018, Linda Harper was found dead in her car, parked in a secluded area on the outskirts of Willow Creek. She had been shot twice in the chest, and her phone was missing. The police quickly zeroed in on Ethan, but the deeper they dug, the more twisted the story became. Text messages exposed Ethan's affairs with all 3 women. Photos depicted furtive trysts and snatched kisses. And then there was the gun, a .38 caliber revolver registered to Sarah Mitchell. But Sarah insisted she hadn't laid eyes on the gun in months. So, who pulled the trigger? Was it Ethan, driven mad by his desire to break free from the mayhem he'd created? Or was it one of the other women, jealous and livid? As the investigation unfolded, a shocking twist emerged. Jessica Lane had been seen near the crime scene and when police searched her home, they found Linda's missing phone hidden in her closet. But Jessica had an alibi. She claimed she was with Ethan at the time of the murder. The problem? Ethan's story didn't add up. This was a media circus. Reporters descended on Willow Creek and the town became polarized. Some felt Ethan was a victim of older women manipulation. Others saw him as a cool-blooded killer. But with evidence gradually unfolding, a darker truth came to light. Ethan's lies unraveled on the stand. He admitted to the affairs but denied any involvement in Linda's murder. Jessica's alibi fell apart when cell phone records placed her near the crime scene. And Sarah? She broke down on the stand, confessing to her affair with Ethan but denying any knowledge of the murder. But the most stunning moment came when a fourth player was revealed, a mysterious figure lurking in the shadows all along. Someone with a motive no one saw coming. Just when it seemed like the case was solved, a shocking twist emerged. Evidence surfaced that pointed to Mark Harper, Linda's husband. Mark had known about his wife's affair with Ethan and had been planning to expose her. But when Linda threatened to leave him and take their children, Mark snapped. In a fit of rage, Mark shot Linda twice in the chest. He then planted the gun in Sarah's house and framed Ethan and Jessica for the murder. But Mark's plan began to unravel when a witness came forward, a neighbor who had seen Mark near the crime scene that night. In the end, Mark Harper was sentenced to life in prison for first-degree murder. Ethan, Jessica, and Sarah were vindicated with no charges, but their lives were forever changed. This is the story of Ethan Carter and the three women who loved him, lied for him, and ultimately destroyed him. But the real villain was someone no one suspected, a man driven by jealousy, rage, and a desire for revenge. If you think you've heard it all, think again. Because the truth behind the crime is always more twisted than it seems. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Truth Behind the Crime for more shocking stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.